What is going on, garden fans? Welcome back to the Permaculture Homestead. In today's episode, we are doing a walking vlog here in March the 7th, 2021 in Zone 8, South Carolina. My home site is breaking dormancy basically, and we're coming into spring. Our last scheduled frost date is March the 14th. So I'm in the hurry up mode and let's get ready for spring kind of feeling here. Quick tour of the whole place. I have my Zone 1 vegetable garden here. This is where it's going to be. It's right here on my back patio. It makes it really easy to maintenance. You're going to see some of the things I have in the greenhouse are going here. The anchor species is Goji Berry. They're getting some afternoon sun right here. They're about to break dormancy right now. And amongst all the rest of the food forest, there's spots where I'm going to be planting vegetables throughout. Now, this is a great time to see the food forest because, well, all the foliage isn't on and it hasn't quite turned into a jungle yet. So as things are breaking dormancy, you're really going to get to see how densely planted I have it here on 2,000 square feet. Now this big giant green hedge you see, and it's a pretty wide hedge. We're talking 4 or 5 feet wide by 6 feet tall right now. Hedge of Elderberry is on the west side of the house, providing shade to my vegetable garden. But on the uphill side of that, we have so many species of trees planted here. We have a pawpaw, 2 pawpaws. We have a peach tree, a fig tree, and a mulberry tree. Now I'm going to go walk down that line of trees there and kind of show you the support species and shrubs that are coming up underneath it. Now I've already chopped and dropped. I use that chop and drop. I've seeded out clover. So in the next month or so here, I'm going to have a nice ground cover of clover coming up to kind of swallow up the elderberry chop and drop. Once again, things are planted very closely together. Here is a fig tree, and not 6 feet away is a peach tree that I really kind of dwarf. I prune it to be a dwarf tree. It's about to bud out. Believe it or not, the pawpaws here are also wanting to bud out. So we're definitely coming into spring. It's densely packed. It's nice to see it like this. As I keep going down the line here, it gets even more diversity. So here we go, have a pineapple guava flanked by a Goji Berry right here that's starting to break dormancy. Here's another Goji Berry. You can probably see it's starting to put on some green. So we got 1, 2, 3 shrub species all supporting this mulberry, this centralized mulberry tree. And once again, I do try to keep everything more shrub-like. The trees, I try to dwarf them. Not 6 feet away from that mulberry is another peach tree, also wanting to start flowering up as we're coming into spring here. Things are very dense. The tree itself has a whole vegetable box around it. We have things like garlic chives coming up, catnip, and then in all the spaces underneath tomato cages, we have sweet peas starting to come up for early spring. So I like this time of year. Is very instructive to kind of see that in a 10 foot by 10 foot area here. I mean, we're talking like 10 feet by 10 feet here. We have a fig tree, we have a mulberry tree, we have a peach tree, we have 2 Goji berries, we have 2 pineapple guava here, and then we got all these shrub-like species underneath it that is also food growing. So I love this instructional time of year. You can see a lot going on in just a small square area of the food forest. And as I keep backing up, I mean, we can layer on top of that. I have blackberries with rosemary bushes growing up, and then more elderberry, that hedge kind of continuing itself along the down the line. There's a lot going on here. A lot of the support species, the Goji berries, are coming in. The mulberries are wanting to leaf out, so they'll definitely produce. This whole entire swale area had been seeded out with clover, so clover is coming up as a ground cover and a living mulch. I'll be planting into that, you know, vegetables, potatoes and stuff are going to be growing here. On my upper swale, it's the same pattern. You know, we have a hedge of trees flanked by a row of blackberries. So we're growing very densely, very tightly packed. We're breaking dormancy right now. We're coming into spring. Giant hugel mounds here with pomegranates, Goji berry, and blackberry on it are going to be waking up in the next month or so. I've got 2 plum trees in the back I'm in the chicken pen. Plums are definitely wanting to flower. What'll kill this is a late frost. And then of course the backyard chickens are doing their job as always, laying eggs. From our 5 chickens, we're getting 3 to 4 eggs per day. That's a nice source of protein. At this time of year, I've pulled the chickens back. They're no longer foraging out in the garden. So as we're coming into spring, if I pull up weeds, I now bring them to the chickens instead of letting the chickens come to the weeds. That's just, you know, here again, I'm using land management techniques on a 2,000 square feet here. I'm using a lot of companion planting, I'm densely planting things, and it all works out. And right now it's a good time to see it because once again, it's not quite green. But in the next month or two, this place is going to turn into a living forest. Anyway, garden fans, I wanted to keep consistent with the updates weekly as things are changing. Just a quick video vlog today. Pawpaws are flowering. I'll have videos on how I hand pollinate those. I'll have videos on how I pull up these pawpaw runners and sell them over at the project site. So do keep in touch. If you're not already, please hit that like button. Please share this video and please subscribe. That's what really helps us out. If you got any questions about what's going on here, just ask. We appreciate y'all watching. This place is going to be a really dense jungle in the next couple of months. Enjoy the journey.